Good afternoon. There you go. Students, faculty, staff, friends, family members, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Presidential Lecture Series 2004-2005. My name is Jimmy Jenkins, and I'm a professor here at Medgar Evers College in Mass Communication. Indeed, today you guys are in for a treat. Not only will you receive a charge from our great president, Dr. Jackson. So without any further ado, let's start the program. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Charles L. Jones, by the way, as Dr. Edison O. Jackson has the O in his name. When I was asked to introduce Dr. Jackson, I considered it a privilege and an honor to do so. I asked the Lord to guide me in this introduction because I really didn't know exactly what to say. So in his infinite wisdom, the Lord gave me 4 words. Those 4 words were certified, qualified, appointed, and anointed. That describes President Edison O. Jackson. Let me do it a little, and let me do a little bit more. Certified. Dr. Edison O. Jackson was born in Heathville, Virginia. This is about certification. He received the Bachelor of Science in Zoology, the Master of Arts degree in counseling from Howard University, and the doctorate in education from Rutgers University, with academic emphasis on the philosophy, function, role, and administration of urban educational institutions. That's certified. All right, qualified. He holds membership in a number of civic, educational, and community organizations. Likewise, Dr. Jackson has served as a member of the board of directors on numerous social, political, and economic organizations. His service has included the National Association for Equal Opportunity in Higher Education. It's called NAFIO. The American Association of State Colleges and Universities, Millennium Leadership Institute, the Commission on Educational Credit and Credentials of the American Council on Education. So he's certified, qualified. Now we're going to go to appointed. Dr. Jackson was appointed Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer of Essex County College in September of 1983. In 1985, Dr. Jackson was appointed position of President, Superintendent, remaining at Compton Community College in Compton, California. And President Jackson was appointed as president of Medgar Evers College in New York City, in Brooklyn, New York, in 1989. Certified, qualified, appointed, and anointed. President Jackson is an ordained minister who serves on the ministerial staff of Bridge Street African Wesleyan Methodist Episcopal Church. And he has written extensively. One of his writings is Reflections on Religion and American Public Life, the college president as a spiritual leader. That's published in the University of Alabama Press. So, when he steps up here, I want you to look at him, listen to him, and pay attention to him, for he does not do this often. You will hear from one of God's children. You'll hear from a man. You'll hear from a black man. You'll hear from a college president. You'll hear from the president of Medgar Evers College. He is President Edison O. Jackson, certified, qualified, appointed, and anointed.
What is that thing?
Looks like somebody's double chin. Must have lost it snacking on fruits and vegetables.
Somebody's gonna trip on that.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, for that very kind and gracious introduction. To my colleagues on the dais, and to you, the students who have joined the Medgar Evers College family, and to my colleagues who are sitting in the front row in front of me. It is good to be here and to have the privilege of delivering the first lecture of this academic year. I want to say to all of you how pleased we are and how privileged we are to have you as students here at Medgar Evers College. Do understand that this is a great institution. This is an institution that has the capacity to translate encapsulate and translate your dreams and transform your dreams into reality. You've come to the right place. This is a college in your community. This is a college that is dedicated to the development of your mind and the development of our community. I want to, this presidential lecture series, to say to all of you as a theme that I would like for you to think about as you go through Medgar, as you make this journey. And the theme is, or the subject is, do not allow your past to control your future. Do not allow your past to control your future. Now, what do I mean when I say do not let your past control your future? Where you are sitting today is transitory and dependent upon the decisions that you make today and tomorrow. It will determine whether or not your transitory state, that is where you are today, whether or not it will become your permanent state. Some of us who have come to Medgar to start this journey, some of us are bringing a lot of excess baggage along with you. And I would challenge all of you to examine the excess baggage that you are carrying along with you to see whether or not it will propel you to achieve your objective of getting a college degree, or that you need to remove it. Now, what am I talking about when I say and share with you excess baggage? Excess baggage can be characterized as being bad relationships. Excess baggage can be characterized as having low aspirations. Excess baggage can be characterized as allowing the relationships that you may have had to control how successful you will be here at Medgar. It is important to understand that as you make this journey here at Medgar, there are going to be some folks who will say to you, why do you want to change? Why do you want to leave me? Why do you want to get a college education? Aren't you happy where you are? If you have not heard those comments yet, just live a little longer. The change that will occur while you are at Medgar Evers College, you will not see it as quickly as your family members and your friends. They will see it before you. You see, because education has the capacity to transform. And you are going to be transformed if you're going to be successful here at Medgar Evers College. Don't think that the education that you're pursuing here will not transform you. It will. The question that you have to deal with is, when that transformation takes place, how will those who now are your best friends receive you? Those of you who are coming, who have come here, need to understand that there are some agreements that you need to make with your spouses and your children, because you are not going to be able to do all the things that you have done in the past if you're going to be successful here at Medgar, because you're going to have to study some nights in the wee hours of the morning, and you will not have the time to spend with your children and your husbands or your wives or significant others as you have had before. Because there are only 24 hours in a day and 7 days within a week. And so you have to decide on the priorities that you will have to establish. And I will say to you, you ought not do it in isolation of your family. If you do, they will exert pressure for you to remain as they remember you. This is the best advice I can give you if you want to be successful here at MEC. So I say to you, think about the excess baggage. Think about those relationships, those weights that will potentially deter you from receiving your degree here at Medgar Evers College. I want to say to you that you are on the right track. Education is our way out of our present dilemma. Higher education is essential if we are going to be as successful as we have the potential of becoming, given the state of affairs in this country. Do you know that those of us who possess a college degree make twice as much money in a lifetime than those who have a high school diploma? So if you want to participate in the good life, then you have to secure a college degree. I tell some folks that education is the key that opens the door to opportunity. I say that it is what? The fastest elevator to the good life. The fastest elevator to the good life. And if you don't use education as a vehicle of transformation, you will be relegated to the margin of society. And you will not be able to sit at the table where we feast, but rather to be receiving the crumbs from the table. And we don't want anyone in this room to be receiving the crumbs from the table. We want you to be able to sit at the table, and in some cases to own the table. That's why you are here. You are here to transform your lives and your family lives and that of the community. Don't let your past control your future. Studying. Whatever habits you may have had as you came into Medgar Evers College, this is a college, not a high school. And it requires a different set of skills in order to succeed in college. No one necessarily going to worry about whether or not you show up or don't show up, because we assume that you are adults. However, I hope that we do. But the point of the matter is, it is your responsibility. If you don't change your habits and behavior and develop some additional new skill sets, you will take those skills, those bad habits, into the future, and they will control whether or not you succeed in life. You see, there's nothing magical about successful people. Successful people have embraced those strategies that create success. And that part of that is investing in the future. You got to invest now for the future if you expect to get any return in the future. And your investment now is to study, be prepared, and most of all, come to class. You can't be successful if you come to class a half an hour late and expect to pass the course. It just doesn't work that way. You cannot expect to succeed in the class if you are never prepared when the teacher, professor calls upon you to respond. Don't let those habits that you may have been allowed to demonstrate in the past, which did not create the kind of success for you, to take you into the future. It just does not work. It is not that people are necessarily brighter than you who are successful. It is simply that they have embraced the strategies. Investment. Investment. Our colleagues here did not get to where they are today because they didn't study. They couldn't get their credentials, their degrees, if they did not study. And so if you invest a little, you're going to get what? You're going to get little. If you invest more, you're going to get more. It's like putting the money in the bank. If you don't put any money in the bank, you can't expect to go there the next week, a month, a year, and get something out of it, right? It's logical. It would be illogical if, in fact, you decide to do that. So it is with life. If we invest very, very little in terms of where we want to go, you can expect 10 to 15, 20 years later to get a great return. It simply does not work that way. Don't assume that you can in your classes. There are some people who try this, but it doesn't work. And that is put your book on your pillow at night and expect to wake up the next morning and to know the material. It just does not work that way. Osmosis does work, but does not work in terms of a textbook. The membrane is too thick, and the knowledge will not seep through into your brain. You know, a lot of people do that, you know. Foolishness. Don't get behind on your homework. Now, what I have done, because I know that some of you do not have textbooks right now, right? All right. We have asked the library to purchase all the textbooks and put them on reserve for freshman students to help you while you get over the hump, okay? And that is important. They are on reserve in the library for those of you who have not yet had the resources to buy your books. I don't want any student who has come to Medgar Evers College to fail because you do not have a textbook. Now, I'm not going to give everybody a textbook. No, we're not going to do that. But what we are trying to do is to create a reservoir of textbooks in the library so that you can go there and study. Because I know it is difficult for some of you to pay your tuition and then to try to buy the textbooks. And so we are trying to provide an opportunity for you to have the resources to be successful. And I will share with you something else that I'm concerned about that we are going to deal with and review, and that is the cost of textbooks. Oh, isn't that, I mean, and the question that I've asked my senior staff to look at, and we will be talking about this in the next 2 weeks, really is to look at, do we need to change textbooks as often as we do? I'm raising that question because I don't know where some of my colleagues get off the train, because they don't seem to understand that we don't have unlimited resources, that we can just simply just write a check or pull out my ATM card and just simply go with it. My ATM card may be blank, zero. I don't have any money in it. So the notion of what we're trying to say to our colleagues here, remember where you are. Remember where you are. And so we are going to work on that. Another piece that I'm concerned about is how they treat you. How they treat you. You know, some people think because they got a PhD that they got it all, and that somehow or another they want to denigrate and to dehumanize you in the process. That is not about good teaching. the point of matter that we need to understand that Medgar Evers and Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X and Fannie Lou Hamer did not die for those of us who got credentials who could stay at this college, then to dehumanize you. And I'm going to do my best to stop it, folks, because there is no reason why we have to disrespect you as you come forward. We ought to be happy. Praise the Lord. We are glad you are here. How can we help you to succeed? Because, you know, it's difficult out there. It is difficult out there. And I understand the challenges that many of you bring to this institution. And you are to be applauded that you are sitting here. Affirmed, congratulated, lifted up. Because it didn't have to be that way. It didn't have to be that way. And so I want you to share with your freshman faculty your experience. I don't want to wait and hear that in December, because that may be too late. We want to help to transform this institution. Yes, we have a new building that's coming up in July of next year. We'll be in that new building, and that's the student support building, 15 new classrooms, brand new offices for the admissions, the registrar, financial aid, bursar, and student life, student government. They'll be in a Taj Mahal, a wonderful place. There are great things going on here at Medgar, and at the same time, when we go into that new building, we will be digging and right across the street to construct our academic complex one of $138 million, folks. A Taj Mahal, so that those of you who are in the sciences will have the best scientific equipment and labs so that you can do great work beyond that which we currently do. So that's saying something, because why? Because our community is now getting what it deserved some time ago. Total construction, $160 million. $160 million, folks. That's fabulous. That's why I'm saying that you are at the right place at the right time. You are at the right place at the right time. I want you to, as you continue to make this journey, to understand that you have a distance to travel, but you'll make it. You are not going to allow anyone to turn you around, because you're going to meet some folks who are going to try to turn you around, brothers. Sisters, you're going to meet some folks who want to turn you around. Your girlfriend going to call you up and say, sweetheart, how come you don't want to hang out with me this weekend? And it make you feel guilty. And you can't allow their guilt to come over on you. Some folks are good at that. And you should not allow them to make you feel guilty. Brothers, you are going to be pressured too. See, when your significant others see that you're around all these wonderful and beautiful sisters, yes, yes, yes. We got some beautiful sisters in this house. Beautiful sisters. They're smart, they're intelligent, they got it going on, and you got to understand that you're going to get some pressure too. You're going to get some pressure too, because your significant others are going to say, what's up? And what I'm trying to say to you is, my best recommendation is bring them here. Let them enroll. Let them get an education with you. Join together and bring your significant other here with you. Or if you got grown children, bring them here, or sisters and brothers and mama, dad, and everybody. Let's make this a family affair. You know, let's do that. And I'm trying to share with you strategies that will help you make it here. And you can say, oh, well, what does the president know about this? I know about it because I face it every day. You don't grow together as a husband and wife if you outgrow your wife, or your wife outgrows you. That is a recipe for failure. So you want to do is to allow your significant other, your spouses, to grow with you. And for those of you who have children in the school system, please understand that there's something called miseducation. And there are some schools that are not about the business of educating your children. And you need to step up to the plate and make sure the schools that your children are enrolled, that they don't abuse them, and they don't put them in special education when they don't belong in special education. Do you know that there is, I think, a structured response in our society in terms of relegating more of our black boys to special education, and that there's a direct correlation between when you get into special education, there's a greater possibility and probability that you'll end up in the criminal justice system. It is a direct link to that, and we need to stop it. You should not allow anyone just willy-nilly to judge your child and put them in special education.
Medgar Evers College of the City University of New York, where education transforms lives. Founded in 1970 through community activism and educational need, Medgar Evers College is a beacon of learning in the heart of Brooklyn. The college offers an abundance of affordable degree programs with its 4 schools: the School of Business, the School of Liberal Arts and Education, the School of Science, Health and Technology, and the School of Continuing Education and Community Programs. Medgar Evers College offers more than 25 accredited degree programs designed to help students achieve their education and professional goals. The college is currently home to more than 5,000 students, and since it's opened its doors has graduated over 7,000 scholars who have become leaders in the fields of business, politics, medicine, and law. Medgar Evers College affords its students access to state-of-the-art computer laboratories and facilities, as well as situating them at the center of the greatest human laboratory on earth, New York City. Life for a Medgar Evers College student is vibrant and dynamic. Students may avail themselves to a variety of student organizations, including the critically acclaimed Amani Singers and Dancers, the award-winning college chapter of the American Marketing Association, the Adafi College newspaper, College Computer Club, the Pre-Law Society, and a variety of college sports teams. The college's community involvement has led to the creation of a number of academic centers, including the Male Development and Empowerment Center, the Center for Women's Development, the Center for Black Literature, the Center for Law and Social Justice, the Youth Development Initiative, and the Du Bois Bunch Center. In 2004, the college will break ground on 2 new buildings, the Student Support Services Building and Academic Complex 1, both of which will propel Medgar Evers College to the educational forefront of the 21st century. Medgar Evers College faces the future with a firm commitment to excellence. At Medgar Evers College, we create success, one student at a time.
Education is the key. There is no other way. Most of us we're not born with a silver spoon in our mouths, and so we have used education to get where we are. I come from a family of 12, and the emphasis was, you got to get an education. You got to get an education. You got to own something. Everybody in my family owns not only 1 home, 2 homes, 3 homes, and businesses and education. Why? Because my mama and daddy said, you're going to be something. You're going to be somebody. And we are saying here to all of you that if you don't think you're somebody, you are somebody. And every morning when you get up in the morning and look yourself in the mirror, although you may not be the most beautiful thing at that moment, but you say, I am beautiful. I am the best. And I'm going to be all that I'm capable of becoming. You see, you got to affirm yourself, because if you don't affirm yourself, somebody else may not do that. And you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. Don't hate yourself. Don't degrade yourself and think somehow or another, think bad thoughts and negative thoughts about yourself. Do you know thoughts become our reality? There is, if you don't believe in the Creator, there are natural laws that speak to thinking and planting. And you know, I grew up on a farm, so I can talk about the farming environment. A farmer doesn't plant wheat in the fall and expect in the spring to reap corn. It doesn't work that way. So if you sow seeds of dissension, hatred, unloving behavior, and discord, you will receive it in the end, or your family will receive it in the end. You cannot escape the law of harvest, no matter how you try, ladies and gentlemen. No way can you do that. A lot of people try, but you don't. And if you escape, watch out for your children. It's just a law of harvest that you cannot break. A natural law, I talk about from a spiritual law, but for those of you who don't believe in God, then that's another story. But it does work. Before an action takes place, a thought takes place first. Now, there are a few people, however, that get their mouths started before their brains have been put in gear. Have you met some folks like that? They're always talking stuff, and you're saying, this is idiocy. This is lunacy. So we can't have Medgar Evers College students talking, and their brain is still in neutral. All right? We can't have that. But there are some folks like that. Before they have thought about the matter, they are. Okay? So what I'm trying to say to you is I want you to be great thinkers, deep thinkers. And when you meet Chaucer, when you meet Pascal, when you meet Homer, the Iliad, and all those great philosophers and etc., you will know, you will be well grounded in your own spirituality, your own philosophy of life. Because you're going to meet them in this journey here at Medgar. Do understand that you are on a marvelous journey, and I want you to be successful. Somebody said that it is not a crime or shame for your dreams to not be fulfilled, but it's a crime or a shame to have no dreams to seek after. It is not a crime to not reach your goal, but it is a shame and a crime for not having any to reach. And so, because see, some of us will have to fall down sometime, get up. And there's a statement that Dr. McLeod makes, and she said that in this life, some of us are going to fall. And she says, if you fall on your back. And if you fall on your back, then you can look up, and then you can get up. You see, if you fall on your face, what you're looking at is the ground. There's no hope and there's no opportunity. But when you fall on your back, you see all the possibilities that there are. Simple message. Study hard. This is a great place. I'm going to do my best to make sure that your experience is a great one. My colleagues here are dedicated to your success. I want to say to this college something very special. We have broken the trend in higher education in terms of the number of black males attending college. Medgar, there's a national trend where we are continuing to see more African American black men of African descent declining in higher education and tremendous numbers. At Medgar Evers College this fall, we reversed that trend. We are up in male enrollment by 19%. 19%. And the freshman male, we are up by 20%. 20%. And transfer males, we are up by 50%. So to that end, then, I'd like for the brothers to stand. Brothers to stand. All the brothers in the house. Brothers, stand. Whoa, isn't this powerful? Hey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My sisters, do you know, let me say something, I'm gonna come to you. I sent my daughter to a historically black college because I wanted her to meet a black man so that she could marry him. Look at these brothers saying, you are marrying material in the future. See, you got to be at a place where men are, if you can join men who are going someplace, who got their heads on straight. So we've increased the possibility and the probability that you're going to find a strong, wonderful brother for your husband. And it's not for you, maybe for your daughter. I'm serious about this. We have to even the odds if we're going to have a healthy community. It makes no sense for 48% of our black brothers to be incarcerated upstate in New York, and we are sitting at home trying to you are sitting at home trying to take care of business and raise the children. By the way, it is not by accident that it is that way. You need to understand there was a conscious effort in this country to change the laws in terms of drug possession, to make crack a greater criminal sentence attached to it than cocaine. And you know why they did that? Because the children out in the suburbs and the people who had money would buy cocaine, and for those of us in the inner city and wherever, we buy crack, and it made it inexpensive, but then the sentence is much more expensive. Conscious effort by our government to give disparate treatment to the use of drugs. So you need to understand this so that you don't think somehow or another that the brothers got deficient genes in them, somehow or another they're less than human. No, 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 no. And don't let people talk about your men. He may be bad. He may be sassy. But he's your man. And I'm saying something to you ladies, I'm going to applaud you too, but I want to say something. But this is to all of us, but I'm saying it to sisters in particular. What you call your mate, he will become. What you call your mate, he will become. If you call him a no cheater, if he's not cheating, he will cheat. And if he's cheating, he'll cheat even more. I'm a man. I got much more sense now than I had when I was younger. But the point is, don't accuse if it's not absolutely necessary. Because that brother will become what you tell you, what you call him. We respond to what people tell us and how they characterize us and how they greet us. And you need to understand that words have power. That's why so many of our black children stopped learning in school, because teachers stopped affirming them and tell them they're dumb, they're stupid, you're no good, you're bad, you're naughty, and such. And so what happens? Children will become that way. They will become that way. I don't know if you had some, I don't know if you had some school teachers who said to you, you are smart. And you tried to be smart because they told you you were smart. Have you had that experience? Well, I have. And sometimes I didn't think I was that smart, but I try to be smart, act smart, look smart. Why? Because the words were prophetic. And then they say you're going to be somebody. Every morning with your children, ladies and gentlemen, as they leave your house, tell them, I love you. You're going to be great. And I don't care what they tell you in that school, you are great. You are somebody, because you got to counteract the negativity that's on TV and in the schools.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about him. It's so much fun, whether we're talking man to man.
You don't need to be bigger than life to be a good dad. You just need to spend time with your kids. It takes a man to be a dad.
You are so marvelous. Stand, because I want to affirm you. You are so marvelous. Stand, my sisters. Stand. I see a few of our sisters didn't stand. Now, I don't know who you are, because I call you my sister. And one of the important instruction in college is follow instruction. You don't have the luxury sometime not to follow instruction. See, that's first step in terms of being successful, is following instruction. Don't let the negativity stop you from doing what you are supposed to do. I don't care whether you like me necessarily. The point of the matter is, I am the president here, and I got to make sure that you have a good education. And so the point is that you got to respect leadership. You got to respect leadership. There are too many of us in our community that do not respect leadership, our leadership. We want to tear them down and to destroy them. And we got to stop that, because if we destroy our leadership, and I'm not talking about Edison Jackson, I'm talking about leadership, who's going to lead us? And if not as good as we want to be, let's help them become better. My sisters, you are so wonderful. You have carried the load when the brothers were not around. You picked up and said, I'm going to go it if I have to go by myself. But I'm not going to give up, because that brother over there is no good. He's not taking out, carrying his responsibilities. I'm going to do this thing for my children. I'm going to do it because I have a responsibility to do that. And I'll tell you, my sisters, that if you continue to do that, your children will love you and honor you and respect you. You see, you can't just worry about today. You're going to get old one day. And you're going to need some help from your children or somebody else. And if you mistreat your children when they are young, and then you want them to love you when you get old, they may not do that, because they will allow their past to control. Oh, folks, it comes back. It comes back. You can't escape it. You cannot escape it. That's why some parents now, I'm old and senior, and they say, my children won't call me, they won't come to visit me. How did you treat them when they were young? How did you? Because see, normally when you treat your children, when you are loved as a child, you remember that love, and when those parents become children again, you come back and say, okay, mama, okay, daddy, And they still don't want you to treat them as their children again, but they are. They forget. They need your help. But see, that's called love. That's called love. And I want you to let the trash in your life go. Let that mess go. Let that hatred go. Let those ill feelings go. Let those hurt feelings go. And if they didn't treat you right in the past, don't worry about it. For me, God is still in control. And he will make a way when you don't see any way out of your dilemma. You see, we got to have inspiration. We got to understand that there's a power bigger than any of us. And that's why we can't control the Iraq war, because there's a power bigger than any of us. See, you can't do wrong either as a person, as a people, or as a nation, then expect to get away with it, because time has a way of bringing it all back. And you know, I believe that we are the salvation of this world, that we are called people, that we are special people, that we survive in the salt even in spite of slavery, whether you came from Caribbean or where you came from these shores or from Africa, we survived. They tried to destroy us, our aspirations. And guess what? Look at this auditorium. Almost 500 sisters and brothers pursuing higher education. And they say that we are not able to learn. We don't know how to do math, that we are afraid of science. Oh, that's a lie. You can't buy into that. And if you read it in the book, that's an author. He's just a person that they have a point of view. It may be a racist point of view. Don't worry about that. I used to remember, and I'm going to stop, folks. I used to remember when I first went to college, and I thought because it was written in a book, it was gospel. Do you know it's not gospel at all? And when you read the New York Times or the Daily News or the Post, you need to understand their political leanings so that you understand when they write an article that they're writing from a political perspective. The Post has one, the News has one, and the Times has one. So when you see it, say, I'm not going to tell you which one they are, where they're leaning, but you can find it for yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end, let me say this to you. I want you to dream. I want you to believe in yourself and then to act on it. And you will learn this, if you have not already, you will learn this. And it goes like this, and I want you to repeat it. It's very simple. If your mind can conceive it, and your heart believe it, then you surely can achieve it. God bless you.
Medgar Evers College of the City University of New York, where education transforms lives. Founded in 1970 through community activism and educational need, Medgar Evers College is a beacon of learning in the heart of Brooklyn. The college offers an abundance of affordable degree programs with its 4 schools: the School of Business, the School of Liberal Arts and Education, the School of Science, Health and Technology, and the School of Continuing Education and Community Programs. Medgar Evers College offers more than 25 accredited degree programs designed to help students achieve their education and professional goals. The college is currently home to more than 5,000 students, and since it's opened its doors has graduated over 7,000 scholars who have become leaders in the fields of business, politics, medicine, and law. Medgar Evers College affords its students access to state-of-the-art computer laboratories and facilities, as well as situating them at the center of the greatest human laboratory on earth, New York City. Life for a Medgar Evers College student is vibrant and dynamic. Students may avail themselves to a variety of student organizations, including the critically acclaimed Amani Singers and Dancers, the award-winning college chapter of the American Marketing Association, the Adafi College newspaper, College Computer Club, the Pre-Law Society, and a variety of college sports teams. The college's community involvement has led to the creation of a number of academic centers, including the Male Development and Empowerment Center, the Center for Women's Development, the Center for Black Literature, the Center for Law and Social Justice, the Youth Development Initiative, and the Du Bois Bunch Center. In 2004, the college will break ground on 2 new buildings, the Student Support Services Building and Academic Complex 1, both of which will propel Medgar Evers College to the educational forefront of the 21st century. Medgar Evers College faces the future with a firm commitment to excellence. At Medgar Evers College, we create success, one student at a time.
What you told me to do.